Well, hello, John Longcroft-Neal here, and Ted asks, thanks Ted, about teaching and what the day was like and what the conditions were like. Don't forget, I haven't been in a classroom teaching for 20 years, but I did start in 1974, right through to the year 2000, mostly in middle schools, and for us that means ages from 8 up to 12-year-olds. It was good. I love teaching the older kids. If you're a regular classroom teacher, that was all, you would be teaching 11 subjects for a start, and you'd have to do preparation for them, and preparation that was not only over long term but mid-term and then week by week. Supportive of the teachers. If there were 3 of you in a year group and you had 3 classes all the same age, you could actually spread the load. Unfortunately, the last school I was in, I was on my own and I had no one to help. And it was a year group I'd never used before, so it was a bit tricky. It was tricky, in fact impossible. As for the day, we'd start at 8:30 in the morning. You'd be in at 8:30 anyway, at least. The classes would start at 9 o'clock, but there's always things to do to get ready. I'd have to add on to all this, if you are the deputy head teacher, you have other duties to perform. And they actually started the moment you put your foot on the car park floor and walked in. But regular classroom teachers would start at 9 o'clock, and the kids would come in, and then you would teach through to mid-morning, and there'd be a break for about 30 minutes, maybe 25 minutes. But if you were on duty, you didn't have a break. You had to go outside and look after the kids as they played. Then you've got through to lunchtime, which would be about an hour and a bit. Unless there was a meeting, there would be staff meetings, because it's the only time the staff were all together. Staff meetings would either be then or they'd be after school. And school would finish around 3:30, according to when you have a break in the afternoon. We went through both systems actually. Or you might actually, during the lunchtime, teach some extra classes. I taught guitar for a while. Sometimes you might do some sports of some sort. But then you get through to 3:30, more or less, and then the children would go home. But there were after school activities for them, which you might be involved in, which I frequently was. And indeed, there might be some other staff meetings for you. But then you've got at least 30 or so books to mark of all the different subjects. So if you'd done English and they'd written a story, you've got 30 stories to read, and then put some constructive marking onto it. Likewise with maths, you'd have to mark everything, make sure that it was okay, and then prepare the next lesson relative to what they did. And of course, when you prepare a lesson, you basically do it at 3 different levels, so you can match the ability of the class. You have a top group, a middle group, and a bottom group, because all the classes were mixed ability. So you had from the very brightest to the not so brightest at the bottom. Even in some instances, you would have special educational needs to deal with. In the very last school I was at, I had a ridiculously large class of 38 kids, 22 of whom, 22 had special educational needs. I did have a helper in as well with me, but it was a bit crazy. And then if you're the deputy, you have other duties to do, organising other things and taking assemblies and organising other rotas and so on, and make sure everybody sticks to that. And you would then also have special responsibilities of certain subjects in the school. So you might be the maths coordinator, or the literacy English coordinator, or the history, or whatever. So that would be your job to write various policies and keep everybody in order. That's as it was. I don't know what it's like now. Maybe it's different. All I know is they will pay you in certain subjects £28,000 to train. And I also know that a lot of teachers never get past their 5th year in teaching. Tells you something about how difficult the job is. Okay, that's done it. I've got 5 minutes. Dong, dead on. Oh, I have to turn the heat. Very warm today. Nice. Okay, see you next time. Bye-bye.